Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. I am Kimberly D'Souza. It is Friday, and you know, on Friday, anything can happen. But today is Pan Friday, and with me, I have the managing director and the arranger of Fonclaire Steel Orchestra with me in studio, Mr. Darren Shepherd.
And it's a pleasure to be here, and let me not ignore our sponsors, the National Lotteries Control Board.
Nice, because you all are the NLCB Fonclaire Steel Orchestra. Yeah. Very nice. I mean, well, first off, Darren, I mean, how did it feel to be back in the big yard in the Savannah this year?
Ooh, a logistical nightmare, and always a challenge for us coming from South to participate in activities like this. We have unique issues in terms of transport, etc. And we had an issue on that particular day, but fortunately we overcome. I mean, the players, we did it for the players. It was not economic success. Even if you pay the largest possible sum of money in this present pandemic period, because I mean, just practicing in the yard alone calls for a certain measure of protocols, which is a certain level of investments, hand sanitizers, fog machines, etc., etc. So it was a challenge, but it was quite refreshing.
I can imagine to be back on that Savannah stage after a year.
Yeah, Gil, and we had some young people who wasn't even born yet when we performed Pan by Storm in 1990. So for them to get the opportunity to play this iconic piece on that stage, it was a wonderful experience.
Very good. I mean, tell us a bit about the band. I mean, I feel like you'll just take over South in terms of how many competitions you've won down there, but just tell us a bit about these competitions you've won, anything for Panorama. I know you have a record with Panorama.
Well, I think Fonclaire probably has the most zonal championships in the history of Pan. That aspect of the competition doesn't exist anymore. And we have a hat trick of second places, 89, 90, and 91, and 90 being Pan by Storm. But for all the Fonclaire people out there, Pan Ecstasy is still my favorite song, 1991.
Nice. Now, you have your 55th anniversary coming up. What is the band doing to celebrate this?
Well, we're having a gala concert on the 20th of March, which is next Sunday. And one of the special things about that concert is we're paying tribute to the founding members of Fonclaire that's still here. It's important to recognize people's contributions while they're still alive. So we're doing that. And we're going back to the Fonclaire theme, the type of music that Fonclaire has been known for over the years, which is funk. Fonclaire was the band that pioneered vocals and pan, and played a lot of funk music back in the 70s and early 80s, and the concert pays homage to that. We're celebrating 55, but we're not actually 55 years old. When the band turned 50, our late manager, Milton Y. Austin, wanted to do a concert. He didn't get a chance to do it. When we turned 55, he wanted to do it, and then COVID came into the picture. So we sticking with 55, although he's 57, to pay tribute to him on that night. And after that, we're going down the road.
We're going down the road, okay. And I mean, who will be performing? Because I know within the band there are different sections, like the juniors and stuff like that. Will they be performing?
Well, I want to say that we're very proud of the resilience of these young people over the last 2 years. We started the junior program in 2019, and the junior program has extended in a very short space of time to 8 primary schools and a secondary school. Our junior program has almost 90 kids, of which we supply them with school supplies, uniforms for school, etc., etc. So it's a broad-based program that is holistic in its approach to their development. And those kids, to get to come to the Panyard when it was 5 persons, is rushed to figure out which 5 could come on which day. So we rationed the classes, we broke down the sizes, and we maintained our interaction with them, and it's going to be quite refreshing to see them and hear them on stage.
Now, which schools exactly did you all target?
We have 2 schools in our area, in our catchment area, Anstey Girls Memorial and Coffee Boys Anglican School, that produce a whole number of top-notch panists like myself, Liam Teague, Wentworth Richardson, Wade Austin. All these guys are doing great work out in North America. So we're proud, and for the school being there all these years, the band never had that relationship with them. So it's fantastic that we do now. Government boys, government girls, St. Gabriel's, Monipo RC, San Fernando East Secondary and Pleasantville Senior Secondary School.
Okay. Now, you describe the event, of course, as a gala, so I'm assuming there are going to be other artists performing alongside the
Absolutely,
Pan
absolutely. One, we're not going to mention her right now. That's a big surprise. But we have the sweet soca man himself, Baron, doing a duet with Swappy.
Nice.
We have Lois Lewis of Joan Agape fame. And my group, the Darren Shepherd Project, which features Ansel Valley, former Digicel Rising Star, Kizzy Huggins and Rhonda Bob on vocals, and some of the best jazz musicians Trinidad has to offer.
Nice. Now, I'm assuming all COVID-19 protocols will be in place.
Absolutely.
And stuff like that.
Naparima Bowl don't play. Naparima Bowl don't play. So you could come there and feel safe. I mean, hats off to the management and the staff in Naparima Bowl. They've been doing a fantastic job. And Naparima Bowl is home for me, home for Fonclaire. It's the cultural center of San Fernando, South in particular. So, yeah, it's always nice to be on that stage. And we're doing it in the amphitheater, so the ambience is perfect.
And in terms of cost of tickets and where they can get them?
Tickets are $250. We have in our Panyard, recently we launched a year ago, a company called Fonclaire Enterprises Limited. So we have a lotto center at our Panyard and a gift shop, and we are presently putting things in place for our bar. So at the Panyard you can get your tickets, and predominantly there because we want to get people to come and see what we're doing and play two lotto too.
you might win, you never know.
You might win. We are the lucky boot. But yeah, at the Panyard, and you could call for tickets at 610-8852, and from on Thursday of next week, tickets are going to be available at Naparima Bowl box office from 10 in the morning to 5 p.m.
Right. Now, we can't come here and I can't be interviewing the new arranger of Fonclaire and I talk about the old arranger of Fonclaire.
I ain't so new, but...
Now, I see that Professor Fillmore, he was awarded the Shaconia Silva for his contribution to Steel Band. I mean, how does that make you feel? You may be in
It makes me feel good, but why not gold? But I mean, that is up to the panelists involved. But I mean, we love pro. When it wasn't pro, it was me.
Right.
Even after the heydays of Pan by Storm, I came in as a 19-year-old to take over the reins of a huge personality. And no man is perfect, but that man's love for the instrument was perfect. He was a people person. I mean, everywhere he go, people gravitate to him in a particular kind of way. And it's beautiful that finally somebody has taken the opportunity to recognize him in a most prestigious manner, and we as a band feel like we're part of that award and that accomplishment as well.
Wow. I mean, let's just go back a bit. You said as a 19-year-old coming in, and of course you learned under him, and now you are arranging. I mean, does it make you feel intimidated in any way to lead this?
By no means. I've been a member of Fonclaire even before the Ken Professor era. I started playing pan under Rudin and Milton Y. Austin, who are two gentlemen who grew up in the neighborhood, and I'm a child of Fonclaire, literally. I've been there with the band from since I was 8 years old. Professor came in after, so my first influence, early influences was Milton, Rudin, Dwight Belgrove, and other guys. So those are the guys that helped shape my musical destiny. But when Ken came, the influence of jazz improvisation came into the band, and then everything just took off from there.
And then the funk and everything, all the elements came in.
Well, the funk has been there since in the 70s, prior to Ken.
Okay.
Fonclaire identified itself as a band that came to Port of Spain, mash up all the Blocko, and went back down the road.
Well, Mr. Shepherd, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, that was the managing director and the arranger, Darren Shepherd, talking about the 55th anniversary of Fonclaire, which is happening next Sunday, and we wish him all the best with that gala event.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Shepherd. This is the Now Morning Show. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. Stay with us.